Hi guys, welcome to this tutorial on creating digital conversations in an asynchronous class using VoiceThread. It's important to design classes with rich discussions that can lead students to deeper learning. This can be done in face-to-face and synchronous classes by incorporating class discussion. However, up to now, designers of asynchronous classes have relied on text-based discussion posts to allow conversations. VoiceThread is an educational technology that permits an instructor to create a lesson that includes content and digital conversations between participants in the class, the instructor, experts, and outsiders. While VoiceThread enables digital discussions, the participants work in an asynchronous manner, so it does not require that participants meet at the same time to communicate. Instead, instructors and students can communicate via text posts, telephone posts, voice over IP, the microphone, webcam, or even uploading files. The VoiceThread assignment aligns with the big ideas for IDL 7130 because it allows online classes to be interactive and collaborative. This assignment asks students to create a lesson using VoiceThread. The content for the lesson is taken from the course textbook. The lesson should include academic content and also opportunities for the virtual audience to have rich conversations. This assignment requires the VoiceThread lesson to be completed with high levels of pedagogical organization. I won't go over all the requirements for this category, but there are a few things that I wanted to point out. First, several textbook chapters will be required this week that can be found in the pilot calendar. You should pick one of these chapters for the content to be used for your VoiceThread lesson assignment. Your VoiceThread lessons will be short, so you only have time to include key points and discussion prompts. Refer to your pilot assignment information to review the requirements for this category. This assignment requires that the VoiceThread lesson be developed with a specific slide structure. I won't go over all the requirements for this category, but here's a few things I wanted to point out. For this assignment, your VoiceThread lesson should be organized with an introduction and the 4 phases of the practical inquiry model. The introduction should have a title slide and many lecture slides. Your triggering, exploration, integration, and resolution phase sections should have a signaling slide, mini lecture slides, and discussion prompt activity slides. The guesstimated number of slides is about 30 to 33. Refer to your pilot assignment information to review the requirements for this category. The assignment requires that the VoiceThread lesson have high quality presentation. I won't go over all the requirements for this category, but here's a few things I wanted to point out. First, the VoiceThread lesson should have a high quality design. There should be a title slide with a single large image and title that summarizes the big idea of the lesson. There should be signaling slide that has a black background and white text that identifies each section. There should be many lecture slides designed using the Beyond bullet point design. Lastly, there should be discussion prompt slides that include the prompt and directions for completion. Refer to your pilot assignment information to review the requirements for this category. Your VoiceThread lesson should include opportunities for students to have digital conversation at the end of each phase. Developing effective discussion questions can be challenging. Joe Caruso, a faculty member from Marymount College, has developed examples of questions and organized them in various taxonomy levels that can be used to create discussion questions to promote critical thinking. Refer to your pilot assignment information to see examples of how to develop discussion prompts to encourage students to think critically and at deeper levels. The next part of this video will demonstrate how you might want to set up your VoiceThread lesson. We will be using the free VoiceThread account for this class. The free version permits you to create up to 5 VoiceThreads. You must delete any VoiceThreads you create if you reach your 5 limit to be able to create any new VoiceThreads. Here's how to set up a free VoiceThread account. Go to the VoiceThread website, which is https://voicethread.com. Then you sign in with your Google account. Then we're going to go ahead and create a VoiceThread project. So your PowerPoint should have been previously created. Now we will upload the PowerPoint file into VoiceThread. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and click on Create, and then we're going to click on Add Media, and we will click on My Computer and navigate to find your PowerPoint file, and we'll go ahead and upload to your computer. Then it's going to ask you to add these thread settings. And it's pretty intuitive. You just follow along. The title description is a meaningful name. So I will go ahead and call this a collaborative lesson. And you can put a description in here and add a meaningful description here and add meaningful tags. Examples could be IDL 7130 or Wright State University. So we won't do any playback. You could make playback option changes if you want, but you can leave it at the defaults if you wish. And then come over here to cover art. And this is the small little image thumbnail that people see that represents your project. So I'm going to go ahead and click there and go find my cover art JPEG and upload it. So this image should be an image that uploading a PNG file or a JPEG file that summarizes the big idea of the lesson. I will often take a screenshot of one slide in the PowerPoint presentation to use as cover art. So go ahead and, bear with me, it did take. So we'll go ahead and click Save. It takes a few minutes to upload. You will see where the wheel gears are moving while the file is processing. All the individual slides will be displayed once they're finished uploading. You should add instructor audio narration for all the slides. Here's how to do this using voice over the internet, which is the microphone or VoIP, voice over IP. So you select the slide you wish to add the comments, and then click on comment up at the top here on the top nav bar. Then you move your mouse to the bottom middle of the slide, and you click on the plus at the bottom. We're going to select the microphone, and you get a countdown. We will go ahead and add your audio narration, and you can also click on the pencil to the right of the recording message and highlight the screen as you're talking if you wish. There's even different colors if you want to see that better. Click Stop Recording when you're done. VoiceThread will play a review of your recording. If you like it, you can click Cancel. If you like it, go ahead and click Save. Click the arrow to go to the next slide to continue until you're done adding audio to all of your slides. The instructor should use audio using voice over IP option for all of your slides. However, for your students, I want you to create discussion responses where they use several options for their comments when you create your assignment. Here's how to add comments using the telephone. So click on the plus at the bottom of your screen, select the telephone, type in your phone number, and then click on Call Me. You will be called on your phone and prompted to speak your audio message into the phone. VoiceThread will play a preview of your recording. If you don't like it, click Cancel. If acceptable, click Save. The telephone option should only be used for students while adding their comments to the discussion post. Be sure to include directions on how they would post comments using this option. So, for the instructor, again, a reminder, the instructor, while you're adding the comments, should always use voice over IP microphone for all the slides. However, for your students, I want you to create discussion prompts where they can use several different options to add comments. Here's how they could do comments using the webcam. So click on the plus at the bottom, select the video cam, the screen counts down, and then start recording your webcam. Click on Stop Recording when you're done. The VoiceThread will play a preview of the recording. If you don't like it, click Cancel. If it's acceptable, click Save. Again, the webcam should only be used for students while they're adding their comment discussion post. Be sure to include directions on how they post their comments using this option. So here's how to share the VoiceThread so that others can view it. Click on the 3 lines in the upper left-hand corner right up here and click on Share. And under here, click on the Access tab, click on the Who Has Access, and by default it's private. So you need to change this to anyone can comment. This is critical or none of the participants will be able to add their comments to your VoiceThread. So click on the Basic tab and then click on Embed and click on Copy the Embed Code. And we'll go ahead and close this up. The free version of VoiceThread permits you up to 5 VoiceThreads. So you must continually delete unneeded VoiceThreads and empty the trash to free up your account. This will allow you to make new VoiceThreads up to 5 at a time. Here's how to delete VoiceThreads and then empty your trash. Again, I want to reinforce this so much. You only need to be deleting VoiceThread if you reach your free limit. Going back to click on the home page in VoiceThread. Click on the Delete Trash Can to the right of your VoiceThread that you no longer want. Do not delete the VoiceThread that you're using for this assignment. If the VoiceThread you created is deleted when I grade, no points can be awarded for that assignment. So you click on the delete. You also need to go to the trash can in the lower left-hand corner and delete it from there. Otherwise, it counts as one of the 5. So you would delete it to the right and then go into your trash can, select it, and delete it from there also. Now let me show you how you would embed that VoiceThread in your Google Sites portfolio. So just a quick reminder, you need to get the embed code to be able to embed it into your Google Sites. So how we would do that is if you're back on VoiceThread, you could click on Share and then come over here to the Basic tab, click on Embed, and this is a little small, the 480 across to embed. So I'm going to make that VoiceThread a bit bigger. I will change the width to 400. It is proportional, so it would automatically resize the height. So across 600 pixels and height 337. So this is the embed code down here. We're going to click on the copy embed code. That's what you can use to embed into your Google Sites electronic portfolio. So I will go ahead and open the electronic portfolio. Excuse me, let me get a drink real quick. So you launch your Google Sites electronic portfolio and you sign in. And then over here on the right, underneath pages, you will need to create a new page for your class. If you have not done that, if you've already created a new class for 7130, obviously you would continue with that. But if you hadn't, down here, you're going to click on plus, new page. I will call this IDL 7130 and create the new class. So that's created here. And we're going to go ahead and add a new section header for this. And so to do that, you can double click on the page and you will click on the T for text and you're going to give it a meaningful name. So in this case, a meaningful name would be something like VoiceThread Lesson. And to make this accessible for individuals with disabilities, we need to use the cascading style. So we need to click on this text and give it a hierarchy so that a speaking browser would know to read the section headers first. So instead of normal text, I will change that to a title so that the speaking browser, would know to read that first. So this is going to be where about the VoiceThread lesson. And then I'm going to add a text overview of the project. So I will double click on the text beneath of that and go ahead and click the T text option again. And this is where you would type in information about your project so that outsiders, when they're reading it, have an overview, the audience, of what they're about to see. So examples of things that could go in here is tell them about the topic of your lesson, share with them the technologies you use to create the project. Think of bragging about yourself so that when somebody is about to read the project or view the VoiceThread beneath, they know all the work that went into creating that project. So you put all that information down there. So now we're about to embed the VoiceThread project. So to do that, we double click on it and we click on the embed code tab, which is the less than or greater than symbols. We will click it and then go ahead and select the embed code. This is where you paste that code that we had copied. You could see it, the width is now 600, and then we go ahead and click. It gives you a preview, and then we go ahead and insert it. So two things you're going to need to do. You're going to need to make it large enough so that we can see it, and you're going to want to center it on the page. So again, I'm going to center it a little bit more. There we go. That's centered. And what we need to do now is publish the page. So we will click on publish in the upper right-hand corner. You get a preview from the draft to the currently published. You click on publish again. And then down here at the bottom, you can click on here to view, but sometimes that goes away quickly. So you can see it deletes itself. If you did not find that, you can always come up here to this little link in the upper right-hand corner, copy the published site link, click on that, and go ahead and copy the link and you always want to do a quality check. So I will put that, come down here and make sure that the VoiceThread plays and do a quality check on it. And there we have it, and you can click ahead, and it's playing. The best idea is to check it on a different computer, or actually somebody that has a different account, to make sure that you have the settings set correctly, that you can go in there and add comments. So in conclusion, good luck with your VoiceThread assignment. You will need to use the Google Sites URL to post in your pilot Dropbox self-reflection to indicate to your professor that you've completed the project. So be sure to save that URL. You will also send the Google Sites URL to your group members so that they can be fake students in your VoiceThread lesson. But I hope you enjoy completing it, and as usual, start early as it can be time consuming. Please reach out to your instructor if you have any issues or questions. I wanted to do a quick overview of what the slides in your VoiceThread might look like when it's all said and done. So these are individual thumbnails of some of the slides. So you're going to have a title slide and then some introductory slides. So probably more than one, maybe 2 or 3. Then you'll have these signaling slides that will introduce each phase, so the triggering phase. Then there will be some mini lecture triggering slides, maybe 3 to 4. Then you will have a discussion prompt slide, and then another signaling slide, the exploration phase, to indicate that phase, and then some mini slides for the exploration, so maybe 3 to 5 of those, and then a discussion prompt about the exploration phase, and then we'll have a signaling slide to indicate the next phase of the integration phase, and then about 3 slides, mini lecture slides for the integration phase, followed by a discussion prompt for the integration phase, followed by a signaling slide for the resolution, and then some mini slides about the resolution, wrapping it up, concluding, and then there will be a discussion prompt for the resolution phase, and then maybe thank you and wrapping it up. So that's, in summary, what your slides will look like when you upload them to VoiceThread. So now we're going to have some questions for you to reflect on, just to measure your learning from this information. Question number 1. The directions are to select the correct answer. Question is, VoiceThread is an educational tool that has many capabilities. Which of the following is not a capability of VoiceThread? Tool that can be used, that can only be used in a face-to-face environment, create a lesson that includes digital conversation, allows students to complete an asynchronous environment, and students have many methods to communicate, such as text posts, telephone, voice over IP or microphone, or webcam. So which of those is not a capability of VoiceThread? Think about it. You might want to pause and take out a piece of paper and answer which one of those the answer would be. The answer is number 1, tool that can only be used in a face-to-face environment. VoiceThread can be used to create a lesson that includes digital conversation and is usually used in an asynchronous environment, not a face-to-face environment. VoiceThread has many options for communication, such as text post, telephone, voice over IP, and webcam. Question number 2. Answer if this is true or false. So the question would be, the VoiceThread assignment should primarily focus on the instructor sharing the content from the textbook. The lesson should be designed with PowerPoint slides that are uploaded to VoiceThread and include the instructor narration. The participants will watch the lesson and have no requirements for interaction. Is that true or false? Think about what the answer is. You may want to pause, and then I'll give you the feedback. So the answer would be 2, false. The VoiceThread lesson assignment should include opportunities for students to post digital conversations at the end of each phase. Therefore, students will be required to interact during the lesson. Question number 3. Fill in the blank with the correct practical inquiry model phase. Options include the triggering phase, the exploration phase, the integration phase, or the resolution phase. So which phase of the practical inquiry model ensures engagement and buy-in from participants? An example would be icebreaker. So you can pause the recording and write it down. Question number 2, which phase of the practical inquiry model moves participants to a fuller understanding of the big ideas. An example is a mini lecture. Question number 3, which phase of the practical inquiry model requires participants to assimilate the big ideas into their discipline and or field? And question number 4, which phase of the practical inquiry model allows the instructor to wrap up, conclude, and summarize the big ideas of the class? So you may want to pause and write those down. And here's the feedback. So the triggering phase ensures engagement and buy-in from the participant. The exploration phase moves participants to a fuller understanding of the big ideas. The integration phase requires participants to assimilate the big ideas into their discipline and or field and or personal life. And the resolution phase allows the instructor to wrap up, conclude, and summarize the big ideas. Question number 4, select the correct answer. Which of these items should be included in your VoiceThread lesson? A title slide, a signaling slide, mini lecture slides with the BBP design, beyond bullet point design, or discussion prompts. Check 1, 2, 3, or 4. Go ahead and pause, and then I'll come back and I'll give you feedback. So the answer is all of these items, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Your VoiceThread lesson should include a title slide, signaling slides, mini lecture slides with a beyond bullet point design, and discussion prompt slides. So hopefully this gives you an indication, your level of understanding, and I look forward to seeing your assignments.